Greetings all you maniacs and minds on our crimes. Welcome back to another Warframe's Ins and Outs. Today we're going to be talking about Hildryn. She is a very good Warframe, very tanky, very fun, and she is just really unique because she doesn't use energy, she uses her shields. So with that, so let's go over her passive. So essentially, when she loses all of her shields, she becomes invulnerable for a brief period of time, and her shields will slowly come back. Then you press R2 and you get all your shields back. So there's that. But anyway, let's go over her abilities one by one. So Balefire Charger, which is our first ability, is this thing. I haven't put a single form into this thing because I don't use it. I straight up do not use Balefire Charger. And I don't use her 4 very much either. So I just built it with corrosive. It has a 50% status chance. I don't know why it's only 50%. It could be more if I put more dual stat mods onto it, but it can hit hard and it runs off her shields. So that's essentially it, and it takes that long to charge, and it uses that many shields with this build. And yeah, energy orbs give her shields. I just don't use it, okay? It can be very strong. It can hit hard, but honestly, I don't use it. What I do use from her, though, is her 2. Her 2 is very good. Probably her best ability. So, when you go in here, Pillage. So, this will get rid of some of the enemy's armor and shields and give it to Hildryn. Now, it will not strip enemy armor 100%. You do not want that when you're playing Hildryn, because if they have no armor, i.e. the infested, you can't get your shields back. Yeah, that's a bit of a problem. Also, it removes status effects from Hildryn and her allies that come in contact with the wave. Just instantly removes. So, you're worried about her dying to slash or toxin procs? No, she won't. She legitimately will not do that. Anyway, so that's it, and it goes out for a very long distance. Like, I'm just going to spawn these guys in. I'm pretty sure I can hit them from here. I did. That's 64 meters. Good God almighty. That is a really far distance to get all your shields back instantly, and I'm not even kidding about the instant part. So let's let these guys shoot me a little bit. And you notice how tough Hildryn is. These are level 70 corrupted heavy gunners. They're not weaklings. So, and all back. Just like that. Now, another important thing to note, the higher the level enemy, the more shields you get back. So if you're using her 2 against like level 20s, you won't get that many shields back. But if you're using them against like level 40, level 50, level 60 and up, you will probably get all of your shields back. It is a weird thing, but I guess it kind of makes sense because the higher level enemy, the more armor they have. Anyway, her third ability, which I need to bring out my cat to show you, is Haven. So, okay. You see the radiation damage down there. It does not proc radiation, it only does the radiation damage. I wish it procced radiation, because then it would be some crowd control. But anyway, when you press it, all your allies and everyone near you that has a health bar that's friendly will get Hildryn's Shield Gate passive. And you see that new shield there at the health bar of my cat. So when that runs out, he'll get my Shield Gate passive, and yeah, he'll become invincible for a few seconds, and then the shields will have to recharge. Really cool. It will also latch on to enemies. It won't do a lot damage, but it does do damage over time. And the more enemies that are latched on, the more drain there is, and also the more allies that are latched onto you, the more drain there is. But of course, she has her 2 to mitigate that. And now that I remove some of their armor, it's doing more and more damage the more armor I take off. But you will never, ever strip all the armor off of an enemy. But anyway, this really will not do a fuck ton of damage at any sort of high levels. But it's sort of like lower-ish levels. You can just turn this on and run through the map and kill everything. It's kind of funny. I use her 2 and 3 the most, to be honest. Because I make my allies practically indestructible. And I keep myself alive. And I'm also removing some of their armor. And now these guys are absolute, chumps. I do have a ribbon for my core attack, by the way. So... either case, real quick, I just want to show you my ribbon. So yeah, there's that. Either case, so that is her 3. Now her 4, Aegis Storm, it's okay. So what happens is, not that. You basically turn into a helicopter. You press your 1. You have 2 Balefire chargers, and you can do this. It can deal good damage, and when enemies are in the area of her 4, they will be lifted up into the air and start to crap out energy orbs. So there's that. So yeah. Now, yeah, obviously this is going to do some decent damage, but I really, really wish that her Balefire charges were faster like this, or you could use your primary weapon like this, and you can go up and down, and the higher you go up, the smaller the area. The lower you go, the larger the area of the lifting of the crowd control. Basically Bastille from Vauban. So what is my build? This is my build. Now Hildryn is unique because all she is shields. So you don't need a fuck ton of power strength. Basically, just build for duration and range. That's kind of it. If you have Arcane Barrier and Arcane Aegis, she is actually immortal, but I don't have either, and only if you have the max rank. Anyway, enemy radar. Do not put on corrosive projection. I repeat, do not put on corrosive projection, because if you're in a full party of corrosive projection, guess what? Enemies have no armor, and you're useless. Yep. It's really unfortunate that she can't just still leech shields and armor away from enemies, but it makes sense because they don't have any armor to leech. They don't, and honestly, like I said, it makes sense, but please do not put corrosive projection on her, okay? I put on enemy radar because I want to know where the enemies are. You can put on growing power. You can put on rejuvenation or whatever else you want. So, just not corrosive projection. Now, another facet of making Hildryn indestructible is Vazarin. Now, Vazarin in particular, because you got Void Regen, and then you have Protective Dash. Yeah. I know it's kind of a lot to go through to fully max out this to get Protective Dash up, but here's the thing. If you're in a really big pickle, all you need to do is this, and then you're invincible for like 5 seconds, and then you can press 2 again and get all your shields back, and then boom, you're back in the fight easily. And it'll also heal you. You can do this to your pets as well. You can do this to your teammates. It'll heal them as well. And Zenerek does not work on Hildryn. So there is that. I don't think that's a huge problem. It just means that you are not going to be using Zenerek as much. Honestly, I think it's fine. And Vazarin is a very good focus school for supportive things. Now, obviously, I don't have everything maxed out yet. I don't have Void Regen all the way up. I don't have... I don't think I would need that. But Mending Soul, this will give you more revives. Well, instant revives for your teammates, which is fantastic. So... this is a very good focus school. If you're going to start out with one, I would recommend Vazarin or Zenerek. Zeneric, especially if you play frames that need a lot of energy. I'm talking like Mag. I'm talking, I guess not really Equinox. What other frames are very energy hungry that you use your abilities a lot? Harrow, maybe. Well, not really, because Harrow is self-sufficient. But anyway, frames like Mag that need a lot of energy. So, weaponry for her. Honestly, use whatever the fuck you want. You are going to be ripping armor off of enemies, so if you bring corrosive and heat weapons like my core attack, yeah, they melt instantly. Melee is actually very good with Hildryn. It might sound scary to get close to enemies when you with melee with Hildryn, but remember how ungodly tanky you are. And I want to showcase this real quick. I'm going to bring these guys up to level 130. Obviously, my cat's making my katana stronger. But yeah, they're shooting me. They're shooting me, and I don't care. I can even turn on my 3. Oh, they damaged me? Yeah, no. I'm invincible now. Go ahead, shoot me. There, I got a lot of my shields back. It would have been more if there was more enemies around. But yeah, you see what I mean. Hildryn doesn't care. And also, her shields can actually come back pretty fast on their own. But yeah, Hildryn, when she was first announced, I was like, a shield-based Warframe, they better do something to make her powerful because shields are not exactly tough. I mean, Hildryn's shields are no different, but it's kind of, I feel like they're a little bit stronger than normal shields, mostly just because there's a lot of shield to go through, and the way Hildryn works. So I'm very glad of where she is. I wouldn't mind if her 3 did radiation proc the enemies, because that would be crowd control. I do wish that she isn't so reliant on the enemies having armor. I wish her Balefire Charger was stronger, and I wish her 4 was completely different, because it doesn't... It's fine, I guess, but you can't use her 2 in it, and her 2 is basically her bread and butter. And all that being said, she is very, very fucking tanky, especially with Vazarin. You don't need it, but it's very recommended that you do go for it. So she's super tanky. She's honestly a lot of fun to play. She can support the team very, very easily. Basically keep everyone alive pretty damn easily if they know what they're doing. It's not guaranteed. You're not going to be able to live as long and easy as if there was a very powerful Oberon on your team taking all the damage and having unlimited energy, or a Trinity on your team, but she can do a lot, and she is, like I said, a lot tankier than you would expect, because in normal missions, no, the enemies, they can't do really anything to Hildryn. It's honestly kind of hilarious. Now, obviously, once I can, I'll swap out normal vigor for prime vigor, but I would have to put a form into her, and I think leveling her up is going to be a bit of a chore. Either case, prime vigor would be great, but I don't have. I just don't have. I definitely have the credits and Endo for it, but I just don't have. An Umbral Hildryn I don't think would be a very good idea, because you want more shields. You want that. So all this being said, I honestly really do like Hildryn. The first time I got her, I thought that she was very meh and not for me. But then I got her again and learned how to really play her, and I was like, oh, wow, this chick is something else. Warning though, Hildryn is a pain in the ass to farm. Not because you have to kill the Exploder Orb 1,000 times. I don't mind that. I actually really like that boss. I could do an in-depth video on how to kill that thing pretty easily solo with Nezha. But I mean, what can't Nezha do solo, honestly, because he's so good. Anyway, she is a bitch to farm because you need a lot of things and a lot of rare things, which is unfortunate. And you need to be a certain rank with Little Duck down in Fortuna. Yeah. Problem. Big problem. But if you have the plot to just straight up buy her, go for it. I would honestly recommend that over trying to farm her because she is a bitch to farm. But if you can farm her, go for it. 10 out of 10. Would recommend this frame to anyone that likes a tankier playstyle, to anyone that enjoys uniqueness. She isn't the average, ordinary, everyday tank. She's different, and I like that about her. She's unique. I honestly want more unique frames like her, frames that do not behave like any other frame in the game. Some frames that come to mind are like Nidus, who does not behave like any other frame in the game because of how he works. Hildryn's in the same vein, and you know, I really do like unique frames. It's great. So thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, in Drobby, we trust.